Creative Pro Wrestling fans, I am longtime independent wrestling fan Robert. Great Heights pretty much lived up to the name from the Knights of Columbus in Lynbrook, New York. We actually had a pre-show match which kicks off the evening festivities as we see Carlo Weiss, Liam Davis, and Sebastian as they defeated the trio of Desmond Cole, Nick Robles, and Jay Messias, or is it Messias? Desmond Cole, that guy's quite a buzz. Seemingly started getting quite a buzz. Seemingly, I've seen him work, and he can really go in the ring. After the match ended, Carlo asks Ryan, ring it out to Ryan Peterson for the microphone, and I forgot what he said at first. And Carlo says, "Creative Pro Wrestling, send Hook." Hook, as for those who don't know, is a member of is not only Taz's son, but a member of Team Taz. That's still a thing in All Elite Wrestling. For May 14th, which is Creative Pro's next event, which we will get to as we go along. Then the main show kicks off as we see Eddie Privetti, the sweeper, who brought a broom to the ring, as he went one-on-one with the Dominican Destroyer Vargas, who was accompanied by the Answer to Your Prayers, Ariella Nix. Basically, this match wasn't much, as Dominican Destroyer Vargas did just that, destroyed Eddie Privetti, or let's just say, let's just say, out in the streets they would call it murder and a half. Or basically, I know they say in wrestling it's a squash, but before I learned stuff about that in wrestling, I would say when one guy got no offense, man or woman, and woman got no offense on their opponent, I would say, that person got murdered. But after this quick match came to an end, Ariella Nix asks ring announcer Ryan Peterson for a microphone, and she mentions, just because I wasn't here last time doesn't change anything. She said that she and Vargas are, tired of being overlooked. She said that, she asked if she wanted competition and where the ladies at, and Vargas has not been getting any competition. And she says, Creative Pro Wrestling, you've been something along the lines of you've been warned. Next up, we have the Even Stevens, Steven Azure and Steve Somerset challenging, representing Larger Than Life, Jack Tomlinson and Dante Drago, the Vlog Bro University, for the Tag Team Championship. Pretty good match by these two teams, as we saw. Eventually, heavyweight champion Eric James comes out and he wraps Steve Somerset's legs around the ring post and takes the bottom or the top of Somerset's vest and puts it behind Somerset's toes, and he's all tied up in the ring post. Eventually, Steven Azure got pinned, enabling Vlog Bro University to defeat the Even Stevens to retain the Tag Team Championship. Next up was a six-way match for the Mayhem Medal. As we saw Kevin Tibbs defend that Mayhem Medal against Evil Kip, Mike Anthony, Philip Cardigan, The Vegan, Leo Sparrow, and Slade. At one point, Slade ended up using this sleeper hold on Philip Cardigan, and eventually Evil Kip got the pinfall and won the Mayhem Medal. And after the match was over, Slade puts Evil Kip in a sleeper hold and manages to put him out rather quickly. Slade asks for the microphone from ring announcer Ryan Peterson, and he says, "I'm not leaving this ring until someone makes me leave." And out from the curtain comes Creative Pro Wrestling's founding father, Pat Buck, just fresh off being relieved of his duties as a WWE producer, but I know he probably asked to get out. And eventually he comes to the ring and he's ready to fight, but then Slade leaves the ring. Pat takes the microphone and he says, how about May 14th we go at it since you don't want to fight right now? And he said, and Pat mentioned about his wife and his child, and his child's almost a year old, and he eventually said to Slade, when we get in the ring, I'm going to make you my bitch. And then after that ends, we go our next match, which sees Mr. Creative Pro Wrestling, Brian Myers, challenge the dime piece, Aaron Rourke, for the television championship. These two guys had a very good matchup, but then all of a sudden, out comes the Answer to Your Prayers, Ariel and Nix, and the Dominican Destroyer Vargas, and Myers was going to hit Aaron Rourke with a spear, but Vargas entered the ring and shoulder blocked Myers down. And I don't know if she took the mic again, but she said, "I told you we were taking over." And Myers was left laying in the ring after taking a power bomb from Vargas. Next up, we saw women's action as we saw Davienne, who has been to Cap in the past, go one-on-one with current Impact Wrestling Knockouts champion Tasha Steelz. Now, these two ladies actually clicked quite nicely. This is like one of the best women's matches I've seen in Creative Pro. Eventually, Tasha Steelz defeated Davienne to pick up the victory. Next up, we see Bryce Donovan go one-on-one with Impact Wrestling star W. Morrissey, who, of course, we knew as was Big Cass in the WWE. And they had a pretty good match, which saw W. Morrissey defeat Bryce Donovan. At that point, the show went to intermission. Eventually, we resumed the action with Jay George's cinematic masterpiece, The Match, the Movie, which sees Jay George accompanied the ring by TG3 and Lenny, as Jay George did battle with Bobby Orlando. Quite a hectic match with these two guys. At one point, Bobby carried a kendo stick to the ring and did a number, hit Lenny and TG3 with it. They were like using a lot of stuff. They were using a camera stand, I think, that was already in the ring at the time the match started. I think Jay George used that on Bobby. Eventually, Bobby comes back in the ring, and he's got like a director's megaphone. And I forgot what those things are called that like somebody uses when filming a scene for a movie or a TV show. It's something. It's like a square object where they mention the name of they say scene 1, take 1, and then they do that with it before the director says action. Well, at that moment in time, Bobby's got the director's megaphone, and I got my megaphone. I said, "Bobby, use my megaphone." And I was a little reluctant because I didn't know what was going to happen, but I actually, I managed to toss the megaphone. I didn't, and thankfully Bobby caught it before it hit the floor or hit the ring apron, and I threw my arms up in the air like a referee would signal for a touchdown at a football game. I wasn't going to throw it like a football quarterback. He does it, and then he says through the megaphone what they wanted him to do with that, whatever that thing is. I don't know what that proper name of those things are. And I think he bashed Jay George in the head with it. At one point, the garbage can Orlando was down, and Jay George had a garbage can. He climbs the top rope. But unfortunately his head was hitting the ceiling, so he says, "Bring out the stunt double," who I believe was hiding under the ring the whole time. Someone, I don't know if that was the guy's real hair, but he did the Van Terminator off the top rope onto Orlando. Eventually, damn, what happens here? I'm trying to think, folks. Bear with me here. Oh, eventually, a a door wrapped up in green paper was set up in the corner, and I forgot what Bobby did. I don't know if it was a Death Valley driver, but he ended up. Let's just say Bobby Orlando showed Jay George the door, literally, and they pinned him to win Jay George's cinematic masterpiece, the movie The Match. Next up was a four-way matchup as we saw Johnny Clash, Dr. Cool J Clang, and CPA do battle with the current champion Eric James in a four-way match for the championship. And man, this match was something. All four of these guys, it was like anybody's match. I mean, a moment CPA almost won, Jay Clang could have won, Clash could have won. Eventually, Eric James defeated CPA, Dr. Cool J Clang, and Johnny Clash to retain the Creative Pro Wrestling Heavyweight Championship. At that point, uh, Bryce Donovan comes with a curtain. He and Eric James are like face to face with each other, and they start going at it until two referees come out to pull them apart. And then it was main event time as VSK went one on one with Impact Wrestling star, the Walking Weapon, Josh Alexander. Very good match these guys had, and I gotta say, VSK, he really is one guy. He's already been on TV numerous, I think, in almost every promotion on TV right now. He appeared on WWE television. He's appeared on AEW. He's appeared in Impact. Wow, I forgot what else. But this could have been anybody's match when he and Josh went at it. Eventually, the end came when Josh Alexander hit VSK with that double unhook pile driver, which I remember Kid Cash called it the Money Maker. Jay Briscoe calls it the J Driller. No matter what you call it, an awesome move. And Josh Alexander put away VSK to end a great night of great heights. Now it's time for the personal notes. It was great seeing Tolly, Sam, Joe Carson. Oh, I don't know if it's me, but the crowd wasn't as big as the last few shows that Creative Pro's been having. I hope in the future there'll be more pre-show matches at future Creative Pro events. Well, it's some memorable quotes. Never give her a mic again. Somebody in the crowd after Ariella Nix did like her first promo of the night. I've got more followers on Twitter than you. Somebody in the crowd towards Vlog Bro University. There was there was a 2 Club in attendance for this show, or should I say, in full effect. But Creative Pro Wrestling returns on Saturday night, May 14th, from the All Sports, that's sports spelled with a Z, in Melville, New York. As already mentioned, Slade goes one-on-one with Creative Pro Wrestling's founding father, Pat Buck. Looks like we'll see Hook go one-on-one with Carlo Weiss. Also announced to appear on May 14th is Max Caster. Yeah, Max Caster, John Silver, Alex Reynolds, Chris Statlander, and Matt Cardona. But I would like to see on this event coming up, I'd like to see Bryce Donovan challenge Eric James for the championship. Brian Myers one-on-one with Vargas. I'm sure Evil Kip will be defending his newly won Mayhem medal. I don't know who Aaron Rourke would be defending the TV title against. Yeah, it'd be amazing to see who else will be at this one. One thing I gotta say, I mean, I think it's safe to say that Carlo Weiss and Liam Davis, both of them being in a pre-show match, I take it that's a step down for both of them. Liam Davis, of course, was a member of Spite with Johnny Clash and Mike Anthony, and they were tag champions for a time. Carlo Weiss, of course, he had a feud with Bobby Orlando. Uh, I don't know if it's safe to say the Shook Crew is no more because both Bryce and Bobby have been doing singles matches. Uh, I do have to ask in terms of Creative Pro Wrestling, Pat, Brian, where are you gentlemen getting the money to afford this talent? I know Creative Pro's been around since 2015, and of course, there were, has so many homegrown wrestlers, but man, it seems like there's so much you got. Um, After the show was over, the parents of Dr. Cool J Clang actually came over to me, and it turned out they watched my videos. So I don't know if Jay himself watches them. By the way, I've also seen Jay wrestle in Ace Pro Wrestling in the state of New Jersey. I don't know if Jay Clang's even on Facebook or not. I mean, I found him on Twitter and Instagram. Man, I don't know who I'd like to see VBU defend the tag belts against. At least they're facing Even Stevens again. Wow. But yeah, Creative Pro Wrestling did great. I mean, I don't know if they'll ever be back in Lynbrook again. I mean, I figured the last few shows I said they should really find a bigger place with the crowd they've been getting, but my understanding, as of the morning of the show, there were tickets still available, and even there were tickets available. People could pay. People were even able to pay at the door. I don't know if I mentioned it was good seeing Joe Carson there. Good seeing Ryan Peterson. Oh boy. La 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 la. Oh, kudos to that one kid sitting near me. I don't know if that was his first time there. Hopefully he'll be back. Hope he enjoyed the show, and hopefully he'll be back. Oh, J Gold 12 on Twitter. He was there. Mm, no, I gotta say, well, everybody, just about everybody on this event, Creative Pro Wrestling, everybody brought it. And what another night. But I gotta say right now, this is so far for Creative Pro Wrestling, their best show so far this year. And granted, this was only the second show here in 2022. And I will say, Great Heights is going to be a tough act to follow, but maybe May 14th, no show title yet, folks. From All Sports, sports spelled with a Z, in Melville, New York. Maybe this could, based on the lineup they have for the next show, may outdo this one. With Chris Statler going to be, I wonder who they're going to put her against. Man, let's see. Right, Chris. And even though the show, did start, they weren't prompt with letting the crowd in, and even though the show started late, had started late, they still had whatchamacallit, the show still ended around 11 o'clock in the evening, which is, good, and also a nice spring day weather-wise. I mean, it cooled off by the time I got out of the building. But damn, man, Creative Pro Wrestling, phew. Man, again, you just everybody brought it on that show. But that's usually the norm, it seems. I mean, I have yet to go to a Creative Pro show and go home disappointed. But I will say, Creative Pro Wrestling, you hit a big home run on here. And can't wait for May 14th. Cap, 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 cap.